Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Co-Diagnostics Incorporated, including some recent news that just came out in relation to this company. Before we get into it, take a second, smash the like button, guys. Big help to myself and the channel, especially in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comments section below if you've heard of Co-Diagnostics before and if you're currently holding shares. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be profiling Co-Diagnostics Incorporated. Before we get into it, we did want to thank today's video sponsor, KCSA Strategic Communications, for sponsoring today's video on behalf of Co-Diagnostics. Now, as you can see, a very exciting day in terms of trading. Trades on the NASDAQ in the United States under the ticker CODX closed out the session. This is as of Monday, October 27th, up 259% or 91 cents per share to finish the day at $1.26 US. Now, this is obviously on the back of a very exciting announcement that we're going to talk about throughout today's presentation, but really shows the amount of investor interest and excitement in the Co-Diagnostics story. So if we pop over to the corporate website, co-dx.com, I'll leave this in the video description below if you'd like to go in and take a closer look for yourself. You can see front and center focused on on-site PCR testing for everyone. Now, if we continue to scroll down on the homepage, you can see one of the testing devices themselves, along with a description of what Co-Diagnostics is all about. So essentially, they're focused on amplifying human potential through real-time PCR, which stands for a polymerase chain reaction. We'll learn more about that technology in a second, and then go on to state it all starts with a single sample, add chemistry, heat, and light to make the fragments of a single virus visible by amplification up to 1 billion-fold by these polymerase chain reactions, or PCRs, and pair that with the limitless potential of the cloud, and you've got fast real-time PCR testing in around 30 minutes, all from a device the size of a small box of tissues. So you can quickly see how this story comes together. We just saw the device itself, taking advantage of cloud technology and integration, allowing these PCR tests to be done on-site or at the point of care in a matter of minutes. Now, at Co-Diagnostics, we believe that everyone deserves to be empowered to take charge of their well-being. Our commitment to innovation drives us to develop user-friendly, reliable PCR diagnostic tests to give families, businesses, and point-of-care facilities, as I just mentioned, the power to know. Now, as you can imagine, this technology really lends itself nicely to a variety of different industries, including healthcare professionals, enterprises, companies, laboratory professionals, even at-home consumers or vector control professionals. And you can actually see in the banner ad on the industries page the big news that just broke in relation to the Middle East, North Africa footprint that we're going to talk about next up in the video. So important to understand that there's a wide variety of industries that this technology or these PCR tests can accommodate. Again, leveraging the Co-Dx PCR Pro testing platform and that compact container design that can really be taken or used in a variety of different situations, providing that rapid and accurate test results directly to a tablet or smartphone in the user's hand. Now, in terms of the technology itself and why these real-time PCR tests are so important, the COVID-19 pandemic was unfortunately a great reminder of how important it is to have access to fast and reliable testing, and it highlighted some of the important differences between antigen testing and PCR tests. Now, many of the test kits done at home were antigen tests. Oftentimes, these antigen tests weren't accepted for travel, events, or other activities where a proof of a negative result was required, whereas PCR tests were mandatory due to their superior sensitivity over antigen testing. So again, going back to the reliability and the accuracy points listed above. Now, the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, is a molecular diagnostics method that can identify bacteria or viruses in humans, animals, or the food supply directly, and do so without the limitations that are present with some of the other diagnostic technologies. So this real-time PCR takes the accuracy of PCR a step further by introducing a fluorescent element that enables amplification of the reactions to be visible by sophisticated instruments in real time. And that's really the breakthrough that provides the speed, reliability, and accuracy that make this device so innovative. Now, if we jump over to the investor relations portion of the website, you can see a description of Co-DX, some of the corporate governance documents, and of course, latest news. And this is where we wanted to spend the remainder of today's podcast. So the press release itself just came out yesterday on October 27th or Monday morning, entitled Co-Diagnostics signs definitive agreement with Arabian Eagle in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to establish Co-Diagnostics and localize the trademarked Co-DX PCR platform across the Middle East. So this is obviously a massive catalyst for the company. You can see that in the share price action at the start of today's video, and really a great example of the global reach and demand for this type of a testing product. Now they go on to say the new Saudi Arabia-based Co-Diagnostics joint venture will be engaged in manufacturing and the distribution of the company's upcoming Co-DX PCR platform and other Co-DX IP across KSA and 18 other MENA countries, standing for the Middle East and North Africa. So as I just mentioned, this definitive agreement with Arabian Eagle Manufacturing, or Arabian Eagle, a regional manufacturing and distribution company based in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or KSA, to form a joint venture or JV Co-Diagnostics to research, develop, manufacture, assemble, distribute, and commercialize Co-DX technology and IP or intellectual property, including the company's upcoming Co-DX PCR point-of-care platform, which we just learned about, within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and 18 other countries within the Middle East and North Africa territory. Now, Co-Mira's mission aligns with the key pillars of Saudi Vision 2030, supporting technology localization, industrial diversification, and healthcare innovation, as the new venture engages in research, development, manufacturing, assembly, distribution, and commercialization of the Co-DX products. And this is actually the Saudi Vision 2030 website here, with key themes about creating and supporting a vibrant society, thriving economy, and an ambitious nation, which again is directly linked to attracting and retaining top tech companies like Co-DX. Now, for those of you that are familiar with the Co-DX story, this is a similar licensing partnership to what the company already has in place in India, so a tried and true or tested method, with both Saudi Arabia and India representing large market opportunities for the company. Now, Co-DX CEO Dwight Egan went on to say, "We are pleased to announce this agreement to establish the relationship with Arabian Eagle, our valued partners in the Middle East, as we expand the reach of our exciting healthcare innovations into a region with a large and growing market for medical devices and point-of-care diagnostics. The KSA has published the key demand drivers that underpin that anticipated growth, and we believe that our cutting-edge PCR technology that we just learned about in the intro, along with the scope and mission of Co-Mira, addresses those drivers while reinforcing our resolve to close the accessibility gap between high-quality PCR diagnostics and those who need them." And a great example of this is actually tuberculosis, which is one of the deadliest diseases in the world. It also happens to be treatable and curable if diagnosed properly and early, and many of the 18 countries within the MENA designation currently struggle with this testing. Now, also worth noting that management is currently in Saudi Arabia to finalize the partnership and attend the Global Health Exhibition 2025. And some additional comments from the CEO of Arabian Eagle, stating this partnership represents a compelling model for combining international innovation with strong local leadership, utilizing machine learning and AI for continuous process improvement, and delivering lasting impact across healthcare and manufacturing ecosystems. So again, embedding machine learning, AI, and some of these large macro tailwinds into the process and company itself. Now you can then see they talk about this similar partnership structure as to what they have in India and make reference to some of the previous examples like COVID-19, which we referred to earlier in the presentation. And just for reference, they actually sold 35 million tests during COVID, generating over $217 million in revenue. So this is not just a theory. These tests are proven, practical, and able to scale, with the company continuing to invest in the technology and make the product even better since that pandemic. Now to end out, you can actually see a list of the countries covered in the MENA territory, including Iraq, Kuwait, Palestine, Syria, Egypt, Morocco, and Sudan. So obviously a lot of need in many of these regions. And again, extremely important that the technology is not only fast and reliable, but affordable compared to the competition and accessible in these regions. And that's why this partnership really represents a massive step or catalyst for Co-Dx moving forward, and the ability for a single sample or single test to actually test for up to 9 diseases. So again, very practical, non-invasive, and affordable compared to the existing standard of care. So with that being said, I'd be really curious to hear your guys' thoughts on Co-Dx or Co-Diagnostics. There's a great resource section on the website sharing recent news, blogs, and publications from the company. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about today's big press release, and specifically if you've heard of this company or are currently holding shares. Now, if you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. It's a big help to myself and the channel, specifically in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you back here in our next video.